Because the Ottomans are more beautiful than the other dynasties before them. They're more perfect. Because they love the Prophet more. They love Allah more. Because they are an empire of tariqat, of Sufism. And they are an empire that honors and pays the Ahlul Bayt not to work. Where the other dynasties, they are hunting down Ahlul Bayt to kill them. Or from time to time working with the Shia, and then later on using them and throwing them away. The Ottomans, they were holding on very highly to the traditions of the Prophet ﷺ, of the Ahlul Bayt, and of the Sahib-ul, and of the inheritors of the Prophets. What happens then that time? When you do that, you start taking the reflection of the paradises, and you start to make this world to have a reflection of what the paradises are. But always the Ottomans made it clear that this is just a reflection. So they did not fall in love with the reflection. More they look at the reflection, more they long to see the reality. You understand? The West and other dynasties, they're only concerned with the reflection, and they try to make that reflection to be as real as possible so that people will only look at that. But the Ottomans, no matter how beautiful it is, it pulls you to Allah, to Mawla, not to dunya. That's why the masjids, you know why? Because the blueprint of the masjids, they got it from heavenly sources. Because the designs of the masjids, they get it from the palaces of Jannat. And that is why when you enter into those palaces, you're in a completely different world. That is not art or architecture that is arrogant, that points to itself. So much of the other kinds, art or architecture, or knowledge or science, it points to itself. But always when you enter into where the Ottomans are, it points you to something more real, something more beautiful, more majestic. It is just a reflection. So you look at that and you say, Subhanallah. No matter how beautiful it is, you say, all glory belongs to Allah. That's why in the Ottoman masjids, unbelievers, and we're talking about unbelievers at the time of the Ottomans, they hate the Ottomans. But going there, they enter into a masjid and they say Shahadat. Because the empire, from the porter to the sultan, saying, like what Shaykh Efendi says, from the porter, meaning from the low levels to the highest level, everyone was following a Shaykh. Everyone was following a Shaykh. Everyone had a Shaykh. Tariqat was the backbone of the Ottoman Empire. The Shaykh, the saints of Allah, they were supported by the Ottomans, not the other dynasties. The sultans and the Khalifahs themselves, they are saints. And some of them, like Sultan Abdulhamid Khan, Jannat Makan, he was a Shazili Shaykh, but he was a Nakshibendi Murid. And because of the Ottomans, tariqat spread from the Balkans to Indonesia. So of course, the masjids and the architecture would be beautiful, not arrogant, deceptively simple, not complicated for a show. light, not heavy. Take that out. Every time I keep telling you guys not to do that. It's cutting me off. Every time I'm telling you. And I'm saying please, and still you're doing it. Becoming the tool of shaitan and your ego every single time. And I'm saying please don't do that. I'm not doing anything to you. Stop it. I don't care. I'm going to do it to break off your connection. Ghaflat. Hasbunallah. That means you are not connected at all to what I'm saying, what I'm doing. You're not listening. If you're listening, you'll be supporting, and you know when you're interrupting and when you're not. That means you're not listening at all. You're disconnected, and it shows every time. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. You understand how delicate this is, but you don't. One day you will be. One day you will cry. I'm not going to speak. Fatiha.